Okay. Okay, guys.
If you'll open your...
Yes. I'd like to read the prophecies now. Okay. The class of 89 got together and looked into the futures of the class of 88, and this is what we found. Remember, this is only done in love and jest. Matt Anderson went to Bobby Knight's School of Coaching. He became the new head coach of some obscure little college in Timbuktu. Dana Barber graduated from high school. She then went to college and just drifted off one day. Poor Dana hasn't been seen since. Britt Batchelor, good old number 34, went to college and met 3 girls. Britt started dating them all and he got caught big time. Since Britt has had this bad experience, he has joined a monastery where he is sure to be safe from all women. Darren Courtney went to California with Mr. Lloyd to continue their work in life together. They now operate a clinic to improve basketball and volleyball skills of the local beach bums. Kevin Cross got his first photography assignment taking pictures of the Russian people. He made one small error and mistook Gorbachev as a ballerina and is now in a concentration camp and is forced to look at Russian models all day. Jody Heath didn't exactly make it through college because he wandered so much, so he formed his own band and is now a famous gospel singer. Pat Jones. Pat Jones works at Kmart. He stands in front of the store and yells, "There's a blue light special in aisle 5. He is world known as the human intercom system. Brad Kunkel would have been a world-famous hunter, but nobody believed his stories because he had no proof of his kills. He left all of them hanging in his front yard, and somebody kept taking them. Jeff Lamb. Don't let the name Lamb fool you. Jeff is really a killer. He is known to the world as the Wolf. He is the World Wrestling Federation's new heavyweight champion of the world.
No, bring him on. I will do this.
John Lunsford, whom we thought hated chemistry, is now famous for naming the last 3 unknown elements. John also hated those long, unpronounceable words, too, so he called them this, that, and the other. Mark Manley. Even though Mark can't be here tonight, we still want to remember him, so we're going to do his prophecy. Mark spent 5 years in art school, but is now teaching a preschool 2 art class. Daryl McCain. Daryl and his father, now known as Vanilla Thunder and Papa Boom, went to work for Channel 9 to do the play-by-play of the Special Olympics basketball game. Mike Middleton, known for making fashion statements during his high school years, went to Paris to study hairstyling for short people. Michelle Mitchell is lovingly remembered by her friends for her reckless driving every now and then. When the U.S. Army heard of her talents, they drafted her immediately. Watch out, Russia, here she comes. Faith Myers won a scholarship to the University of Sound Effects and is now working for movie producers making canned laughter. Karen Place. Karen Place. Her hard work paid off and she made enough money to buy out the Mr. Steak chain and had the pleasure of firing all the people she had once hated to work with. Rhonda Rhodes. A supposedly straight-A student went off to college and starved to death in dirty clothes because she didn't have a quarter to call home and find out how to scramble eggs or how to operate a washing machine. Jim Ryan, now known as Rip Van Ryan, learned Learned how to stay awake on basketball trips. Now the problem is keeping him awake during English. Gordon Strode went to college for 4 years to get his mechanics training, but much to his disappointment, he is now putting together tricycles at the nearest Toys R Us. Shelley Turner is now searching the country for her books. Someone played a dirty trick on her by placing her books in a real locker.
Okay, now I'm going to read the class wills of the seniors. Okay. I, Matt Anderson, being of sound mind and body, will any junior who wants it my enthusiasm for doing my consumer math homework. I also will to every junior all the hassle and trouble that comes with being in accounting class. I will to Eric Schooley the ability to speak clearly and also a nice nickel. And at last, I will all of my pink slips for my hair being too long to any junior guy who wishes to argue and be harassed by Mrs. Bennett. Have fun. I, Dana Barber, being of tired and unsound mind, do will the following things for the following people. To Gretchen Morris, my favorite little boy, I will a machete so that she can chop some broccoli in style. I will my position as editor of the yearbook to Jackie Edwards so he will finally have to work in publications class. I will to Eric Schooley the ability to speak in a clear, distinct voice. I will Darren's in my neck as goofing around in chemistry without getting in trouble to Lori Sheldon and Jack Bennett. I also will Lori a year's supply of Spam so she can always have a good lunch. I will my World of Fun costume and all the headaches that go with it to Tiana Stoddard. May she use it well. I will my beautiful golden brown tan to Christine Kelly Hartman. Last but definitely not least, I will my beloved little Chevette, complete with chrome tailpipe, to Scott Kilborn so that he can finally have a real car. I, Britt Batchelor, being of sound mind and body, hereby bequeath the following tangible and intangible assets and attributes. I will my ability to dunk to Jack Bennett so he can see the goal from the top side. I will my divine rhetoric to Lori Sheldon because she could always use some more. I will my ability to hit fastballs to Lance Lynn so he can hit other pitches besides off speed. I will my catching ability to Jeff Leaf for future reference. I will my smile to Lance Lynn so he can continue to be cheery. I will all aspects of my pitching to Eric Schooley so he can make up the whole pitching staff next year. I will my parking space to Eric so he can have the satisfaction of parking where a real car once parked. I will my super chef ability to Becky Lee so she can cook for her husband and 10 kids 3 times a day. Let me make you a deal. I will my ability not to make deals to Jack Bennett for next year. I will my vast and complete knowledge to Jack, Bob, and Eric because they could use a little more. I will to Mrs. Bennett my hair because she was always after it. I will to the school our original and true mascot, the Panther. I will to my class the best ever, my luck in all their lives. I will to Mrs. Rhodes all the frustrations of the class, and along with that, all the love and respect due to her from the class. I, Darren Courtney, being of sound mind and body, will all the chrome that is on the engine of my Toyota to Scott Kilborn so he can finally have back the awesome car that he once had. To Craig Stinnett, I leave all my stupid jokes because his are just too funny. To Eric Schooley, I leave my title as garbage man so he can finally be recognized on the court and he won't have to be known as a question mark the rest of his basketball career. To Lori Sheldon, I will a full-size mirror so she will always have a way to check her appearance during chemistry class. To Lance Lynn, I will my voice so he won't have to talk like this anymore. And finally, to Gretchen Morris, I will the box of grillers that Chris Early willed to me last year. I, Kevin Cross, being nuttier than a fruitcake, do write this last will and testament to the poor underclassmen we forced to remain in school for at least 1 more year. First on my list of beneficiaries is a very big person in my life. To Jackie Edwards, I leave a life supply of frozen pizza for those future times of tearing and devouring at lunchtime. Next on my list is Craig Stinnett, whom I leave an appointment with a decent barber. To Colleen Odom, I leave my old set of stilts. To Kathy Alvestead, I leave my slightly lower than average grades and attendance records. To Jack Bennett, I leave a spot on the Johnny Carson show. And last but not least, I leave Providence Christian Academy before they change their mind. I, Jody Heath, being of open mind and body, hereby leave the following items to the following people. To Steve, I leave my locker and all but one of its contents. To Craig, I leave the pizza from the Joplin basketball trip that's still in the bottom of my locker. To Eric, I leave my car so that he will finally have a real one. To Jack, I leave my style, my class, and my attitude towards school. To Scott, I leave my good driving record and Penny Bennett's wrath. To Dawn, I leave my parking place and collection of tardy slips. This concludes my will. I, Pat Jones, being of sound mind and body, will to Kathy Allistead my ability to speak loud so that she might be heard more often. To my good friend Eric Schooley, I will my strength, size, and basketball ability. And one last thing to him, a nice nickel for all the basketball trips next year. Senior will of Brad Kunkel. I will my singing voice to Eric, my jokes to Craig, my knowledge and understanding to Jack Bennett, and my martial arts to Craig. I, Jeff Lamb, will my belongings to the following underclassmen. To Lori Sheldon, my naturally tan skin so she won't have to complain about how white she is. To Lance, my little black book, but really it's not black, but it's not the color, but the content. Oh yeah, just beware of the A1 next to their name because it means they're aggressive ones. To Christy, I will my driving ability so the passenger won't have to ram their foot through the floor to find the brakes to slow down. And to his sister Kelly, I leave my shyness. So now that my shyness is gone, I can will my body to any of the junior girls who would like to go out after I get back from the cruise. Now it's time for me to will my greatest possession, my car. Don't even think of it, Eric. You're not going to touch my car. No, but really, I will my car to Eric Schooley so he can know how it feels to drive a real black Camaro. Oh yeah, I also will my weights to Eric. I, John Lunsford, being of nice body, will my Umbro, soccer ball, and awesome right foot to Lance Lynn. To Angie Bauer, I will my advice she never uses. To Eric Schooley, I will my fast car, and to Lori, my beautiful hair. To Teresa Villers, I will my great sweaters. To Jack Bennett, I will my big mouth, and to Becky Leaf, my singing ability. I, Daryl Scott McCain, being of sound mind and masculine body, will the following. I give Jack Bennett my ability to sit the bench in basketball games. I give Eric Schooley my ability to always dress like $1 million. I will Bob my gift of speaking fluently. I give Craig Stinnett all of my beam me up Scotty buttons. I give Christy and Kelly my deep, dark, exotic tan. I give Lori Sheldon a life-size portrait of me so she will always be able to see what a real man looks like. I give my crowbar to Angie and Steve so that they might be able to pry themselves away from each other for a few I give my 100-pound air tank to Katrina Manley and Colleen Odom so they can fill up anytime they want to. I give Becky a brand new outfit from Kmart. I give Teresa my warm heart. I give Sandra my thanks for helping me out on a lot of my homework. I give Tiana free sneezing lessons. I will Jackie all of my organization, and I give all the junior class my love and respect that I have had for them. I, Mike Middleton, being of sound everything, hereby will the following to the following. To Eric Schooley, the ability to do a two-handed reverse dunk off a bounce and also to get a dunk against open door. To Craig Stinnett, the ability to tell the difference between the humorous and the disgusting. To Don Thomas, all the mousse and styling cream I had when I had my flat top, so he won't have to spend his hard-earned money he receives in the great grocery store business. To Lori Sheldon, the patience to put up with all the warm and friendly people at the great THS. To Colleen Odom, the ability to tell whether or not Daryl and I to Colleen and Angie, the ability to tell whether or not Daryl and I were really having car trouble or if they were just pulling their legs. To Gretchen Morris, the ability to put up with a certain graduate who shall remain nameless. I, Michelle Mitchell, will the following to the following. To Lori Sheldon, my car mirror that I never did get fixed for those last-minute touch-ups on the way to school. To Katrina Manley, all my hair bows and my jean shoes so she'll always have a perfect outfit. To Michelle Schaefer, my office job, since she has a name for it. That way the office staff won't have to learn a new one. And to Teresa Villers, my vast knowledge of accounting, which I know will come in handy, and the ability to make it through her senior year without me. I know I couldn't have made it through mine without her. Aww. I, Faith Myers, insane mind and body, will my blonde hair to Becky Lee so she can be a true airhead. And I will my laugh to Kathy Alstead and my awesome ability to play basketball to Angie Bauer. To Tiana, my kidney, so she can stop the bus next year every 30 minutes. I, Karen Place, being of sound mind and body, will to Teresa Villers all of my colored paper clips to help her with her accounting. To Katrina Manley, I leave all my cute animal folders. To Lori Sheldon, my gray stonewashed skirt. I, Rhonda Rhodes, being of sound mind and little body, decided not to leave my brains to anyone who will take them with me to Jewel. However, there are a few things I can do without, so I hereby will my great oratory skills to Jack Bennett, since he needs help in his speech. To Teresa Villers, I will my driver's license, please. I will my ability to slam dunk to Bob Hildebrand. I will Sandra Pittman, a true found love for green cars. I will my locker to Michelle Schaefer so she can be an upperclassman next year. Seniors are the greatest. But remember, the number 35 basketball uniform goes with it, so start practicing. I will my nearly empty bottle of Excedrin to Kathy Alstead for all the headaches that came with being in charge of Vice and being the senior class president. I will my calculus book to Gretchen. Carrying it around will build muscles for volleyball. And lastly, to Lori Sheldon, I will my little black book, since she always seems to like my exes. Ooh.
I get hot here.
I, Jim Ryan, being of sound mind, no matter what you say, will to Christine Kelly Hartman, my Bible grade. I hope they like it better than I did. I will to Becky Leith a box of candy because she's so sweet. I will to Eric Schooley half a brain, so when he talks about basketball, he will know what he's talking about. To Scott Kilborn, I will my total money because his track just don't cut it. I will to Don Thomas all my rock and roll tapes so that when his mom takes them away, he'll have some. I also will to him my bird hunting ability and my just say no pin that I never wear. I, Shelley Turner, will to Lori Sheldon my ability to have a sweet boyfriend with a relationship that will last. I also will Tiana Stoddard my ability to get Bible and consumer math homework done before it is due. We, the senior class of 1988, will to the junior class copies of our senior skip day papers for their use next year. Okay, this is our senior class motto. We, the willing, led by the unknowing, are doing the impossible for the ungrateful. We have done so much for so long with so little that we are now qualified to do anything with nothing.
Each and every one of us here tonight has a lot to be thankful for. Not only do we have parents that loved us enough to send us to a Christian school, they cared about our future, and they started today. But they sent us to a Christian school and giving us a good foundation to base our whole life.
Through us with a lot of stuff. They cared for us, and with our problems, they talked to us, and it was friendship. It wasn't teacher-student, it was friendship. And in this last year, we had a lot of really hard things happen. And it seemed like we weren't going to make it through. But there was people that cared. And they worked and they fought to bring us together for another year. Oh gosh. And there are times when it seems like that we don't appreciate what they did. And there are times that we don't give them the respect that they deserve. But I think that I can say on behalf of each and every one of us, thank you to all of you that fought for us. And because of you, and you're teaching us to believe in God, we've got hope for our lives.
When well, I always like the opportunity to talk, as all my teachers will tell you. So, as Teresa asked me to speak tonight, as I began to think about what I was going to say, I think it was really about the first time that I really realized what is about to happen in a couple of weeks. And the first thing I thought of is, the seniors have come to the end of a road. And I'm sure some of you parents can remember the first steps on that road, maybe the first day of kindergarten or first grade, when you led that little boy or little girl by the hand into the room, and they were scared, and you were probably a little bit scared, and they were crying, and I'm sure some of you were crying. And it's been 12, 13, however many years, for, depending on whether it started in preschool or first grade, or Jody East's case, 21. But then I thought, it's not really the end of a road. It's more like the stop sign. To show that you've arrived somewhere, yet you're at the intersection. And now you have to decide where to go, what to do, who to do it with, and who to go with. And the second thing I thought about is what's going to be happening in a few weeks is a major part of my life will be gone. And just thinking, having gone to ICS ever since K4, gone to ICS for 12 years, and then here at PCA for 1 year. I think I've got an opportunity to know most of these seniors probably about as well as anybody in here. And, you spend 7 hours out of the day, 9 months out of the year with somebody, you're either going to love them or you're going to hate them. And I think I can safely say that I've really come to love each one of this year's senior class. And I'm just glad that I've had the chance to know you. And in closing, I'd just like to say to the class of 88, you'll be missed by all of us. Thank you. Turn off the light.
Packing up the dreams God planted in the fertile soil of you. Can't believe the hopes He's granted. Means a chapter in our life is through, but we'll keep you close as always. It won't ease. let you go. In the Father's hands we know that a lifetime's not too long to live as friends. And friends are friends forever if the Lord's the Lord of them. And the friend will not say never, 'cause the welcome will not end. Though it's hard to let you go, in the Father's hands we know that a lifetime's not too long to live as friends. No, a lifetime's not too long to live as friends.
Let's bow in prayer. Our Heavenly Father, we come to you with our hearts that are full of joy and in some ways full of sadness. And we thank you, Lord. We thank you as juniors and seniors and sophomores and alumni of the school, and those teachers that are here and the parents that are here, that you've been able to provide with us a way to provide a Christian education for these children. For in a parent's eye and a teacher's eye, they are children. Right now, Lord, I ask and pray that you be with the senior class as they step out into the world. And as Jack said, they're at a stop sign where now they must make a decision on which way do I turn, which way do I go with my life from now. And Lord, I ask that you guide and protect each one of these seniors. And I ask that you remind them when they come to a decision in their life that they can't seem to be able to make, or they know somewhere it doesn't seem right, that they can always remember from the training they've had in a Christian school, through parents, even through their church, through their teachers and their friends, to bring that problem to you in prayer. Because most of all, if they don't retain and take with them that little something and keep hidden in their heart that you're the Lord of their life, life can be a disaster when you go out into that world. But we only ask, Lord, that it be a joyous occasion and that you can guide them and help them with these decisions. And we pray for each one of them that they all do have happy experiences, no matter what area they go in. And Lord, we pray that you can keep these kids together as friends, because friends is what shields us up and keeps us going so many times, not just our other friends, but our church friends and our family friends. We need friends to support, and we definitely need Christian friends, because that's where the power comes from other Christians supporting those. And Lord, we ask that you be now with each one of those students and have them have a happy graduation time and have them have fun on their trips. But most of all, put your loving arms around each one of our seniors as they leave this fold to go out into the journey of life, and that they always keep you near in your heart. We ask this in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
think I heard a while ago.